My name's Fox tonight, so I can have it Fox. I just saw Wolf King Season 2. We're gonna watch the trailer and then we'll get into it, okay? Alright, let's begin. 3, 2.
You're the wolf. My name is Drew Ferren, the rightful king of Westland.
So long as the lion clings to the throne, Drew is not yet our king. We need to find
They could have
Lucas.
starved him out.
Drew Ferren will be cowering.
No, they were trying to, actually.
I can't let you do this, Drew. Don't you trust me? Kings don't take this kind of risk. Stop. What is Lucas planning? The wolf shall fall.
You can't kill what is already dead.
A warlord like you is worth 1,000 mortals.
It's funny because it kind of looks like you're talking to Drew, but it's actually, but if you really look, it's Whitley that they're talking to there.
Apparently, a king needs a queen. Gretchen, she just seems so refined and graceful. All the things a queen is meant to be.
Okay, so there's like I said I was gonna wait, but like a big part is that Drew being king is that he's eventually gonna have to marry, right? That's a whole big thing with that. I said it in the last, for the season 1, and I'll say it for this one too. He has a lot of really good chemistry with Gretchen, and with Whitley, not that much. Mind you, I love Whitley. Don't get me wrong. I really, really, really do love Whitley. But I don't necessarily see the connection yet, or there. Maybe in the next season. Maybe we'll get more. But I don't necessarily see it right now. Especially because I'm sure in the books maybe they were together longer. But in season 1, majority of time, Drew isn't with Whitley or around Whitley at all. He's separated from her, and he's mostly with Gretchen and Hector. And he has great chemistry with Gretchen. Like, even when at one point he goes to talk to Gretchen to propose, and he's like, he couldn't kind of go through with it. And later on, it's because he says, he doesn't, I guess, love her. But, he goes and tells Gretchen, he's like, am I doing all right? And Gretchen's like, are you asking me if you're doing all right? And, you're proposing, because Gretchen says, oh, do you want me to propose? Oh, Gretchen, do you want to be queen? Yes, I do. And then he's like, am I doing this all right? And Gretchen's like, no, you're doing awful. And, I don't know, when she said that, eventually afterwards she goes to, the crypt where her parents are buried, and, she cries there about it. But I don't know, when she was talking with Drew, it felt like it was romantic, back and forth almost. Yeah, you're a dumbass, but I love you, that kind of thing. I don't know. And then where Whitley, he is gung-ho ready to die for this girl, Jesus Christ. And I'm saying that's not a good trait to have and all that stuff to protect her, but I'm they're trying to put it up yes, it's love, and it's honestly, out of the 3 of your friends, I think she's the one you've had the least amount of time with. If anything, we needed more. I was hoping more, by the end of this, which I was kind of hoping by the end of this we would get a little bit more of them interacting, to get a little bit more of that stuff, but I don't know, it still always felt like I love you, and that's why I'm doing this. It kind of felt like it skipped over them, falling in love. It does show that Whitley does like Drew, but... And then, obviously, Drew kind of likes Whitley, but it feels more or less like a crush right now. Where with Gretchen, they legit had it's I kind of like you. I kind of like how you look. I kind of like how you look. Let's get together. Maybe there's something there. Where I feel like with Gretchen, it very much felt like like they just had a back and forth with each other, and it felt really natural. I don't know.
For all the things a queen is meant to be.
Remember, young prince, time to take what's yours.
Oh yeah, spoilers. I have to say go watch it. The prince is like both Simba and Scar. Also, apparently Gretchen, when her fox powers, which I'm not entirely sure, like, I don't know, do all of them have some kind of specific special ability? I don't necessarily know if they do or not. All I know is Gretchen apparently has super speed and can see the can have eidentic memory. That's like part of her wolf where fox powers is kind of cool. But also I'm like, does the wolf have something? Does he have a sonic howl? Something? Come on.
You and I were ruled together.
I was raised to be a queen, not a hostage. You have to save yourself. You're too important.
Wait, hold on. When is this falling? I think this was edited. Okay. Because I'm trying to think of when this scene happens. Because, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. He's, there's a piece that shouldn't be there.
You have to save yourself. You're too important.
No, I am not leaving you again.
A king must always put his
That Crow Lords are pretty cool.
people first.
No!
So why didn't you?
Because you were more important.
See, again, they push it. They push it a lot. And again, I'm 100% for this. I'm like, okay, cool. They're kind of liking each other. But a lot of the romanticizing, I guess, it's very much them kind of arguing. It's very much like early 90s, it's like late 90s, early 2000s of like we bicker and argue, but we kind of like each other now. It's like, I don't know. I feel like Gretchen, like they had a similar thing where they bickered and argued, but you saw them kind of start building over that. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. Not weird, because it felt natural. Like, I'm just kind of looking at him like, can they just be like a polycle or something? Like, I'm just like, I like it. Like, I legit, like, I get it, but also, like, I don't know. He had so much good chemistry with Gretchen.
Was there ever a more unworthy king?
When he gets, yeah. That's a whole fun thing, too.
All you ever tell me is be more like a king, but this is the king I am.
Some will not survive the fall of the wolf.
So, this scene is really good. It takes off pretty much almost exactly the last season left off. Maybe like a few months after. Drew is kind of having trouble being king. There's the council where it's or just so I also use Game of Thrones a lot, because also I feel like, when did this come out actually? When did the first book of Werewolf release? That's wrong. When did the first book of Werewolf release? (2011). Interesting. Werewolf Rise of the Wolf. 2011. Interesting. Because when did Game of Thrones end? No, it was 2019. Yeah. Okay. No, because there's a lot of shit in this season where I'm just like, I feel like they're trying to make a better Game of Thrones, and it's kind of working. Because, like, okay. Also, I just saw the, like, books covers for those, for Werewolf. Super goddamn generic. They did the right going with this, like, art style and, like, animation that looks like claymation, kind of stop motion, kind of. But pretty much, like, there's stuff like this, like, again, the different kingdoms that are tied to the different animals. You have the whole, like, kind of like, oh, we need to make alliances and stuff like that. and like shit, fucking zombies at one point. Like when Drew screws up his like marriage proposal to Gretchen, which you know he knows that I guess he didn't necessarily want to marry her. Okay, fine, but still, when Gretchen gets kidnapped by the prince who was hiding out in the crypts because they didn't check everywhere, I guess. Kidnapped, pretty much that sets into motion, because also Drew also says like, he's also trying to like find Trent and like hunt down the remaining lions in his city, very Batman-esque. Here's a point around here where you see him like jump from a building and shit. They're like right here. And he tries to find them. It doesn't work out. Eventually, again, Gretchen gets kidnapped. They go after Gretchen, or Drew and Whitley go after Gretchen. Drew and Whitley go after Gretchen. Hector lets them go, which then has Lord Bergen take away his rank, which I'm just thinking like, I feel like Bergen is overstepping a lot because like, okay, so again, Game of Thrones, Whitley was made pretty much, if you know Game of Thrones, Hand of the King. Like, he is the advisor to the king. He's like the number one advisor, whatever, to the king. And this man, and Bergen just like, oh, I'm taking away your title. And I'm just like, who the fuck are you? Like, I get it. You're part of the council of leadership and bullshit. But on that same note, you are a king. Drew made him king. Or made this dude second to the king. You should be listening to him. Yeah, it might actually be like a whole thing with Hector. It's because Hector, I'm trying to think. Hector has like a whole arc where he has to learn to kind of stand up for himself because his brother. Well, we'll do Hector's story first. Hector's brother is being a dick, even though he's not in charge of the Red Fin or wherever the hell they live at. He's not in charge of it. He's not part of the council. He's just being an asshole, and Hector is just letting him get walked over for whatever reason. I don't know why. I feel like you should have been able to go like, no, get the fuck out of my keep. But no. This guy's just doing all this, and he's trying to make his brother like, you're weak, so you have to give the kingdom over to me, and I'm gonna just erase our father from history. Like, there's a point where Hector tries to use necromancy to call upon his dad's soul to talk with him. And apparently only a magistrate can see them. So with magic, I guess a ghost specifically, if it's a body, whatever. But, so he does that. The brother's like, oh, who did you summon? Oh, did you summon Dad? And Hector's like, yeah, I summoned Dad. I need to ask him for advice. He goes, well, tell him to go back to hell. I'm like, Jesus, fuck. Hell exists in this universe? Well, they even say at one point where they see like the goat, the goat lord. He's like, it's the devil, and I'm just like, yeah, I guess, yeah. Like, I guess that would be like, if you saw a goat lord, you'd be like, holy shit, it's the devil. But again, that's weird. Is there a werewolf Jesus in this universe? I mean, if there's a hell and there's a devil, is there a werewolf Jesus? Is he the wolf? Is the wolf Jesus, or is he a lamb lord? He wouldn't be a lion lord. I don't think he'd be a lion lord in this version. Like, that's just kind of bad. And also, that would then mean that, like, the lions are descended from Jesus. Yeah, no, let's not go with that one. Actually, if anything, because then in the Bible, wolves are considered evil. Let's not go with this. Let's not go with this line of thought. In any case, But yeah, so Hector has to learn to stand up for himself, and eventually it leads to like, spoilers, I guess, like Vega almost stepping in, because Vega's like, oh, I'm gonna beat, like, his brother pushes him down some stairs, and Vega's like, oh, I saw what just fucking happened, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and Vega's about to go up to him, and Hector's like, no, stop, it was my fault, I tripped. He's like, are you sure? I'm going to beat the shit out of him. And he's like, no, it's my fault. And he's like, okay, fine, whatever. Just lets him go. Lets it go. And the funny thing is, then later on, the dude, the brother's like, either sign over my stuff, or I'm gonna show the queen and everyone that you've been doing necromancy, and then I'm gonna, either way, I win, I get my place, and you get banished. And Hector's like, no, stop, and pushes him, and he gets pushed against the banister of like their little tower. And he's like, did you just push me? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, whatever, scuffle happened. Brother falls over. Hector grabs him. The brother falls. And he's like, oh shit, and he dies. And I love this too because the brother dies in front of Vega and like the hired sword guy, the hired gun that he had, and they're like, huh. And Vega just gets rid of the body. He does not give two shits about the brother. He does not. He's like, nope. He's like, Hector, listen to me. Your brother went on a trip. He went off somewhere. Like, there's no, like, there's a bit of, like, grittiness to this story that you really, which people are dying left and right. It's very Game of Thrones-esque in that, like, I don't like, people like to throw around, like, oh, it's like Game of Thrones. I mean that legitimately. Like, this is like Game of Thrones, where characters will die. And it's like, oh, shit. Mind you, it's not, like, as probably vicious as some Game of Thrones ones, but it is, like, a character like, oh, of course, that sucker will die. Or, like, you know, there's a person will get shot, and it's like, of course. Like, of course. Because you just like, oh my god. Like, you legit don't know who will live and who will die for a good chunk of it. If Gretchen died at one point, it wouldn't kind of surprise me. If, honestly, again, Whitley has such good chemistry, it wouldn't, or Gretchen and Drew have so much good chemistry, it wouldn't surprise me if Whitley did die and, like, that was how it ended. Not saying I want that to happen. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. But, God, let me, but yeah, so let's go. But anyways, Hector, he dies, and again, because he has that spot, the black spot on his hand, which also, someone remind me in the comments. I wanted to look it up, but I started recording. Drew was the first. Did Drew break the spell circle the first time? Actually, you know what? I could probably look that up. I believe Drew was the one who broke the circle. He broke the circle, and that's when the white spider was able to get through, and that's how he then got the spot on his hand, which allowed him to kind of start seeing dead things. And then Drew steps on the circle with the Lion Guard, because they revived the Lion Guard that tried to kidnap Gretchen, which also, like, the 3 Lion Guards that were with the prince must have been the goddamn greatest soldiers ever to live, because for some reason they went from just cannon fodder to like the like boss fights, like mini boss fights. Like it was like a Dark Souls game where it's like, oh, that's a mini boss. Like, oh shit, it's a mini boss. Like it's like that kind of bullshit. They just beat the shit out of 2 to 3 werelords, and I'm just like, how? It's a regular human being. Beat the shit out of him. Turn into a wolf. Turn into a bear. Come on now. But they accidentally drop one. He dies. Then this guy brings it back, and like that's when this guy gives like the wolf will fall. Not everyone will survive, and which is really funny too, because in life he sounded like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna win. Like that's how he sounded. But yeah, so he's okay. So guard. So that happens, and the guard gets out of the circle thing, whatever. And like I think that still allows his hand, his hand is like, it seems to be like almost like a thin point or channeler, because later on when he summons his dad, I think the brother steps on whatever too, it all gets messed up anyways, the brother dies, and then he starts seeing his brother everywhere. And we're still on Hector's storyline, mind you. He starts seeing his brother everywhere, and his brother starts still wrecking with, like, look, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna, like, when Eventually, the Cat Lords, we'll get to the Cat Lords. The Cat Lords come, start destroying shit, and the brother as a ghost, which I was like, I'd be kind of cool if the brother actually started being a good person after death. But no, the brother goes to Hector and goes, you need to get the hell out of here. And like, you're going to get out of here, you're going to go home, you're going to tell the queen this bullshit. You're going to go and you're going to get out of here because you need to live because I guess I'm going to live through you. I'm not entirely sure his point here. I'm like, does his brother actually care about him right now? I'm not entirely sure. But you kind of saw him there for a second. But, yeah. But then also, like, later on, like, you know, he stands up and is like, no, I'm not following this bullshit. I'm not following you. We're going to help protect my friends. My friends need me. And I need them. And, like, he talks to his brother, pushes them away. And eventually later, when the lions start attacking, he's like, Hector goes, oh shit! Puts up his hand, and his brother, you see him, his soul just goes, what the fuck? And he gets sucked into Hector's arm, and he starts shooting, like, black tendrils out. Like, kind of like the Rat Lord does. So I'm guessing the Rat Lord probably has just, like, a shit ton of ghosts around him. Since he has, like, I think, well, at least 4. Assuming each tendril is one soul. Because the Rat Lord seems to only have about, like, 4 tendrils at best. It doesn't seem like he can summon more than 4 tendrils. This guy's old master. So I'm guessing he probably has, like, maybe 4 ghosts around him that he can channel them into these weapons, these, like, tendril energy weapons or whatever. It's really cool, honestly. I like that, because even the brother at one point when he gets out of the tendril form, he's like, "What the fuck did you do to me?" It's like, oh yeah, Hector now has control over you. You are screwed, buddy. Yeah. So, but anyway, so after that, we go to Gretchen's story where Gretchen gets kidnapped. She is constantly throwing like these roses out the window to lead Drew and Whitley to them. Well, also, Gretchen has been actually training with Whitley to start summoning her were powers, which I'm honestly surprised characters like Hector and other werelords haven't just, like, been practicing that shit. Like, especially Whitley, because, again, she has super speed. I think you see it. Yeah, you see, like, the after images, like... It's a little bit inconsistent when that happens, kind of. Like it's like, okay, why are you running super fast now? But, like, yeah, like, it's... And, like, she's also, like, you can tell, like, I love this, too. Like, you look at her smile when she's duping this dude. Like, she is having fun with it. That shit is cool. Oh, look at it. Okay, so look, I'm going frame by frame. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So literally, like, every frame is, like, her moving fast. That's sick. It's like every frame she moves, like, a good, like, portion to show the speed. But yeah, Gretchen has super speed and, like, eidetic memory. And I'm just like, god damn, everyone else kind of a little bit, not underpowered, but, like, I feel like they should get some kind of special power, but okay. But yeah, so Foxes, super strong. But yeah, like, she's running around them, she's outpacing. While that's also going on, like, yeah, wait, so but eventually, like, when Drew and, well, actually, wait, let's cut back to Drew and Whitley. Drew and Whitley are, yeah, Gretchen is cool. Gretchen is also having so much fun with her powers. I don't know, I like it a lot. I love Gretchen. Whitley, I love Whitley too. She's cool, she's badass. I just need more of her and Drew actually kind of bonding, which is weird because we have them traveling together, and it's still, like, wasn't work. It still was like, I don't know. It was a little bit more arguing, I guess, and that's what kind of, I think, messed it up. I don't know, but Whitley and Drew, they head out on, which, mind you, Whitley's riding her horse, Charger Challenger, I can't remember the name, and they're heading on the horse, and Drew's just keeping up with them, and Whitley's like, we have to slow down. And he's like, why? I'm running faster than your horse. I'm slowing down for your horse. We should leave the horse and just go as our werepowers. And Willie's like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, why not? Like, mind you, I get it. Don't give up your horse. And eventually, like, they have to give up to, what's the correct, Romania? Okay, so pretty much, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call them Romanians after the fact, but I'm going to use this word now because everyone will know it. They run it, like, while they're chasing him, they follow the roses towards Gretchen. They eventually come across for lack of a better word right now, I'm going to call them Romani after the fact, pretty much a stand-in for gypsy people. Like, that's pretty much what they're doing there. And I say that simply so I get that. I'm going to be just saying Romani for the rest of it, but that's why you understand. It's not like it's not just like, oh, Romanian people. It's like, specifically, like this. Like, they're traveling, they have, like, you know, the little trinkets all over them and all that stuff. That's pretty much what they're doing. It's pretty much what they're a stand-in for, but they call them something else. But that's pretty much what they're a stand-in for. And, like, one of them is, like, dying, and he's gotten bit by he has a glowing bite mark that's slowly taking him over, and eventually when he dies, he comes back as a zombie. And they're like, yeah, up ahead there's a guardsman that's patrolling, and he's you know, and, like, he bites you, and, like, it hurts your soul or whatever. And pretty much, like, it turns out, like, the Rat Lord used necromancy. Oh, wait, you actually see him right here. Not the Rat Lord, but the zombie. Yeah. The Rat Lord used necromancy to create a zombie, and they are, like, zombies, kind of. Like, I mean, like, they're not, like, science zombies, I guess that's the way to say it. They are magic zombies, but they still have the infection of, like, oh, you get bit, you're fucked. And it is, there is some cute banter, I will say, but again, it's still just like, I don't know, it's something up with it. I don't know what's wrong with because with Gretchen, I'm like, okay, I can see it. This is just a big linchpin. With him and Whitley, I'm just like, I'm not seeing it. I don't know why. I feel like maybe there's just a little bit too much argument, but pretty much they do this. I think Drew's sword, again, like the Valyrian steel, like, can kill zombies because Drew stabs this guy and he just explodes into dust. And same thing with the other zombie that comes later. And I'm just like, okay, so, and, like, I think it's that his sword's magic, or he can kill zombies, like Longclaw. Is it Longclaw? White Claw? I think it's Longclaw. The sword from Game of Thrones. But I'm not entirely sure. I think that is the case because, like, he just stabs them, like, once with his sword and they just both just disappear. My hair is a mess. But so I'm trying to think now. But yeah, so that happens, and eventually they're like, okay, we're gonna leave our. They're like, they stop the zombies. They go back to, was it Baba Koda? Something like that. The leader of the Romani people. There's the leader of that troop. And they're like, look, you lost your horse. Here's our horse. You know, we'll come back for him later at some point, but get yourself somewhere safe. It turns out Whitley is bitten, and the lady goes like, look, here's what you need. You need, go to this place. He's a goat lord. He's the magister. You should go talk with him. He'll get you fixed up. And you need to go by tonight, or you're dead. And then, literally, like, okay, cool. So then the two run off as their wereform. Well, second, there's like 3 stages. There's deactivated, there's activated, and there's, like, full on. Like, they went into activated. They ran, they caught up with that carriage like that. Like, immediately. I'm just like, oh my god, Drew was right. If you didn't bring the horse, you guys literally would have been caught up to Gretchen and stopped all this before it ever happened. But whatever. But yeah, so they catch up. The Rat Lord has to like fix a bridge using, you know, tendrils so they can get the cart over. Fight happens. They fight again, one of these guards, which are just like the best of the best. They're not werelords. They're just human beings. And they can take on 2 werelords together regularly. And I'm just like, I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like they shouldn't be able to do that. It's like, I'm powered by my brothers. We're like the only 3 gods. So I'm suddenly way stronger than I should ever be. But pretty much they do that or whatever. Gretchen, the prince, and the Rat Lord escape, or the Rat Lord and the prince take Gretchen and escape over the thing. They let the bridge fall. Drew finds out Whitley has the bite, and he's like, "How did this happen? How did you get bit?" And he's like, "I don't know. He used his teeth." And Drew's like, "Well, if you can make jokes, you must not be that bad." And then Whitley passes out, and he's like, "Oh shit." And he sees the map, he's like, all right, and he gets you to here. So he walks and carries her to, towards the town, and Whitley wakes up, and he goes like, what's happening? And pretty much like, Drew's like, no, oh, come on, stay awake, let's have, if I had this many terps in this hand, this many terps in this hand, and Whitley, like, what do I have? And Whitley's like, big hands, and he's like, I'm the one who's making the jokes here. But she passes out, gets her to the goat people. Turns out the goat people are all like the goat town is like abandoned, it looks like, but it's not, because then the devil, which is actually the goat lord, pops up, grabs them, takes them to where these people are, like where you see like the people with the glowing eyes there, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sell them all to the fighting pits. And like the magistrate here has a magic power who can manipulate the mind, who can help with the magic that deals with the mind. How does that work with zombie bites? I don't fucking know, but okay, whatever. And they're like, oh no, she's gonna die, throw her out. It's like, no, she's a werelord. And he's like, oh, okay, then yeah, we're gonna just take her, heal her, we're gonna take her to the fighting pits, and then we're gonna burn the town down. And then also this guy Drew gets locked in like his own dreams by the magister. Yeah, he was all like people with glowing eyes. He gets locked in his own dream where he has to fight his fear. And like it takes on the form of like his wolf form. There's an eclipse going on in the background, but also it's really cool. I'm trying to think. His whole fear thing where he has to, fight his own fears and stuff, which also I think, if I remember correctly, the giant wolf's left hand gets destroyed when like Drew stops fearing being king and stuff. But he eventually breaks out of the mind control. Just as the town's about to burn, he starts helping people escape. Eventually, he's like, I need to find Whitley. And the old man, Magister, tells him, like, who isn't the evil goat lord or whatever. Because the evil goat lord was going to sell people as slaves. Evil Magister. So he's like, I gotta go save Whitley. And the old man's like, you need to help my people because my people are gonna die. And he's like, don't worry, I can do both. Goes, saves Whitley, knocks the goat lad down. The evil goat guy's like, silent mask friend is a Raven Lord and saves the goat guy. Drew eventually saves Whitley, and Whitley's like, what the hell are you doing here? You should have saved the people. And he's like, well, I needed to save you because you're more important. I love you. Well, I didn't say I love you, but like, you're more important than them. And he's like, no, I'm not. They try to break the door down. It's like, oh shit, it's barricaded. We are screwed. We can't get out of here. And eventually Whitley's brother breaks in with some other guards from the capital. And it was like, oh shit, we're saved. And pretty much then they're like, okay. Then pretty much the goat guys people and everyone, they're like, okay, we need to go to the Horse Kingdom. Because if we go to the Horse Kingdom, they'll, like, that's where the prince would have to go to get a charter ship, and that's how we'll solve this. And it's like, okay, cool. They go to the Horse Kingdom, which, weirdest Horse Kingdom ever. Like, okay, if I told you, you know, oh, their kingdom is, you know, like, okay, Vega. Vega is a shark lord. So obviously, like, his kingdom wouldn't be, like, you know, islands, you know, ocean access. And then if you say, like, okay, Wolf Lord or Bear Lord, their place will probably be in, you know, big woods, which they are. Their whole thing is with trees and stuff. And then you have, you know, Wolf Lord. Okay, probably wolves, a wolf land area, which, yeah, a lot of this kingdom is filled with woods and stuff. Woods. Woodland area. Same thing with a Fox Lord. Okay, yeah, right? Okay. Why the hell is the Horse Lord's, like, kingdom, like, a water kingdom? I'm like, I feel like a Horse Lord would probably be like, you know, plains? I don't know, somewhere large where they can run around and shit. But no, it's this like ocean kingdom. I'm like, you could make a salmon lord or something, or a seahorse lord. But I guess because, but like instead, like it's like, oh no. See, the castle that the Horse Lord lives in is actually a giant running track. Where, you know, we've had the other werelords before come here and, you know, run around and shit to race. And only Weregar's the only one who's ever beaten a Horse Lord here. And mind you, I'll say this right now. Because this is the bridge that leads to, like, the Horse Kingdom. That's where I'm trying to see if it shows it anywhere, but the Horse Lord. But yeah, the Horse Lord's like whole king, like thing is like it's an ocean kingdom. It's like that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Also, yeah, here's one of those OP guards. I'm like, that don't make any goddamn sense. How the hell is that? I will say again, it is pretty cool because they go all the way to the top and like they like go through the tunnels inside of this like castle that can shift and change, and then you get the ring, and then you go on the outside of the castle, and you platform your way back up to the top. We have them put the ring in for you to like win. It's very cool. Give me a minute. All right, sorry, back. But yeah, it's really cool. I like it. Like I liked it a lot, but also like I was just like, I'm like, it don't make a goddamn sense. That's the Horse Kingdom. I like at least put the outside like full of plains or some shit. Like I don't understand. It's like it's a walled off city too, where like the Romani people are like right outside the gate, like because they're not allowed in. And pretty much like it's a honeypot. It's like the Cloud City thing where like, oh, we're welcoming you in, but it turns out no, the bad guys are actually here. And like when Gretchen eventually like sticks her head out of a balcony and goes, it's a trap. Drew's like, oh shit. That's when shit goes sideways. Whitley tries to save Drew by knocking him out of the thing. Everyone gets captured, and eventually Drew gets tricked into thinking, oh, Gretchen's being taken off on this carriage, and he goes to get on the carriage, and turns out it's his brother who tries to kill him, and they fight. And also, it's a funny thing too, like throughout this entire season, every time they're in the back of a cart, no one can hear. These carts are soundproof because characters will be like, all right, time to stop this thing, all right, time, like you won't hear, like, and mind you, they're like wooden things that like are not locked. Even though like at one point Gretchen just opens the door and just like could have easily jumped out. I'm like, you're a werelord, jump out the car, but you don't. But whatever. But yeah, like same thing. Like Trent and Drew are fighting inside of this back of this thing, like, and the driver's like, no, yeah, it's fine. Eventually, like I think when the dad goes out to the back, and the driver's like, oh shit, he falls out. thing keeps on driving. Make sure it's still recording. Make sure it's all good. It keeps on driving, and like the cart drives itself. It is driving itself. It's gonna crashes, almost falls off. Drew saves him and his brother. His brother like, oh my god, and then his brother still tries to stab him. He's like, god damn it. Eventually, like, it leads to like them going to like the top. Also, I forgot to mention the Cat Lords came and attacked and took over Horseland, and also are now attacking the capital, where Captain Bergen, whatever, the Bear Dad and the Stags are like, we're gonna go into, we're like, the you know, we'll get to him. But anyways, pretty much the Lion Guy's like, oh, please come so we can talk about terms of surrender. And then like they go there, it's like, haha, do you think I was talking about my surrender? No, I meant your surrender. Ha ha ha! Aim your guns at them. And it's like, okay. And they're like, oh no. And they're like, oh no, we're gonna walk away. But then like one guy's like, then the king's like, I'm baiting you, other stag. And the stag's like, I'm gonna fall for that bullshit. Runs at him, gets killed. And like, oh my god. Well, the other stag's like, I'm gonna attack the cat, I'm gonna attack him. And he's like, no, dumbass, they have guns on you. And then like, he's like, we're gonna take our revenge. And mind you, Vega and the Queen had both said, this is a bad idea. And you're like, it's fine. It's like, god damn it. And also, like, you're not listening to the Queen of the Queen, or last Queen at least, who should be like, I would assume, the acting royalty in this. Why are you listening to Bergen? Stop listening to Bergen. Stop listening to Bear Dad. Go listen to the Queen. But no, that doesn't happen. So, also Bergen fired shit, I'm trying to remember now. He fired Hector from being like, you know, Hand of the King, and he took over being Hand of the King. And it's just like, really? Again, I feel like you shouldn't have the authority to do this, but okay. But anyway, so that happens with Bergen. Eventually, like, we're just gonna go into the castle and kill the king. And like, mind you, they don't know that like there are troops on the way, and they're like, well, there's no way he could have gotten like word out to get extra troops. And all I'm thinking is, why are you gonna waste manpower and people to go into that keep to get the king? Especially if you don't think there's backup coming. Why are you doing this? Because I don't know, personally, me, I'd be like assuming again, I don't know that there's backup coming, and I just assume it's only him and whatever loyal guards are in that keep. Let them starve. Like, I don't know. Like, they're like, you see them have little barricades inside the front of the castle on this little bridge, and there's no way for them to get out or off. And all I'm thinking is, yeah, let them starve. Just like, eventually, like, they'll run out of food. Eventually, they'll be so weak you could just walk right in and be like, yeah, no, you're all under arrest now. What are you gonna do? Attack me with your malnourished muscles? Like, what are you like? They're not gonna be able to do shit. Like, but no, they're just like, they're like, Drew's not king yet until the king is dealt with. And it's like, okay, just give it a year. Give it. I don't think the kingdom's gonna really give a shit. They're already sending you papers saying like, oh, we want to make allegiances and shit. Like, I don't think the other kingdoms care. Just let the fuckers be like, I'm king. I haven't eaten in a year, and then he dies from malnourishment. Like, I don't know, or just like, you know, he's malnourished, and you walk in and just go, oh look, stab, we win. But like, I don't know. In either case, so Drew. But yeah, so in any case, eventually Drew does get in. His friends escape. Drew gets in, gets his friends out, but then the magistrate that like put people to sleep hears about, oh, there's a reward there's a reward for Drew's head, and puts Drew asleep, puts the other guy to sleep, sends the girls across the river, asleep, takes Drew, and like the remaining people grab them and take them to there, and it's like, oh, Baba Yaga, thank you, and it's like, but what are we gonna do? And eventually, like, the magistrate's like, oh, shit, I'm a Judas, I gotta make up for my shit. Alright, we're gonna help you guys. And eventually, like, they do storm the castle while this is all going on. Also, Whitley's brother dies trying to protect, Gretchen after Gretchen stopped the Lion Prince from shooting Drew and accidentally shot Trent in the heart, but Trent's fine, apparently. I'm just like, really? The brother gets shot in his, like, side, and he doesn't die, and he dies, but Trent gets shot, like, directly in the heart, and it's like, I'm fine! Like, okay. He does, like, Drew does have to hold his, like, nearly dead body around, but, yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, so trying to think. Drew. I'm trying to think. Oh, God. Oh, God. But yeah, so Drew eventually gets stuck up in the top of the keep with the Rat Lord, who has zombies, and trying to use it to make Drew sign a confession that he's not the king and not Wergar's heir, which I'm like, he's still a Werelord, Wolf Lord. And like, Drew's like, why on earth would I sign this when you're literally a liar? Like, I know it doesn't matter what you say, like, I like, because he had that, like, one, he says that, like, he already killed, like, Whitley and Gretchen, which is like, we know he didn't, for one, but he doesn't know that. But the second thing is, he has Trent up there, and he says using the zombies to go after Trent, and Drew eventually signs it, but then he takes the paperwork, he's like, no, first help my brother, and then I'll give you this. And he's like, oh, you have no position. You're in no position, I have the paper, I signed it, do your shit. And he's like, I'm not gonna do anything until you give me that paper. And Drew's like, well then, fuck you, and tosses it in the fire. And he's like, and Rattler's like, you, and it starts just releasing zombies. Shit starts getting at you on fire. These zombies that try to attack Drew. Drew is also, mind you, shackled with like silver cuffs, and he tries to turn werewolf form, but it's not breaking the silver. And also, while this is all going, the Cat Lord and the Prince are heading to the main capital again, which is under siege. The king, queen, and eventually everyone has to back away. Bergen fights the Lion King and doesn't kill him when a thing falls on top of the lion, but eventually he like brings the down like the crypt like on top of his own head, but the king still escapes from that. Eventually everyone has to escape from the main capital. Drew, to get out of the shackles, gets his hand cut off so he can break out of shackle, then turn to a woman, break the other shackle, which he then starts trying to fight the Rat Lord. The Rat Lord uses again 4 tendrils, but eventually Drew breaks like the controls that were controlling like the zombie chains, which was the only thing controlling the zombies. Zombies that start attacking the Rat Lord. I think they eat him. I'm not entirely sure. Eventually, Drew gets like brought to like a plank while like the zombies are trying to go after him. Trent is able to grab Drew's sword. He's like, I'm coming back for you. He runs away. Gretchen and Whitley go up top, like, Drew! And they see as Drew jumps off the edge. And like he goes, and like Drew goes, like with his stump of an arm now. Which again, like the part where like you see him falling, like right here. Like this is the ending of it. But, like, this part, I'm pretty sure this, like, he does not have his arm in this scene. Unless this is a different scene. But he falls, and they're like, oh no, Drew's dead. He falls, but then the crow catches him. Everyone's sad, like, oh no, Drew's dead! Oh my god, Drew's dead! And like they're like, oh no, but like we'll make them pay or whatever. The Cat Lords completely take over. The Cat Lords kind of take over, and they go to the capital, and like the king is drunk. He's like, I won, and he's like, well, you ever seen the movie Lion King Prince? And the prince goes up there, takes his large silver dagger, and stabs his father with it. Kills him. The Rat Lord, that's like, you know, the king's right hand, the magic guy. The other Rat Lord, the brother. He's like, oh, I'm making new friends. Holds the guy dead. The old king gets stabbed. And they go, long live the king. They make the prince the new king. And he's like, you guys live better. Also, this is their cousin, Osum, who's a cat lord, which I'm like, he didn't turn into a cat, though. So it's like, alright. But, like, you do see, like, he has, like, some kind of scratch on his head. I'm like, I bet that's, like, Weregar, like, scratched the shit out of him. Because he has, like, some kind of claw marks across his head. But, yeah, there's that. And then eventually Drew gets dropped on the boat of, like, the Goat Lord. And they're like, man, where is it? Also, it is really funny when you see the Werelords fighting with regular weapons, and I'm just like, this is just furry attack. This is just a furry war at that point. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I think kind of when you become a Werelord or something, you shouldn't be just using regular weapons. And I will say, like, that is a thing where, like, when you look at Drew's weapon when he turns, like, a full wolf, and, like, he's wielding a sword like this, I'm just like, I feel like the sword needs to become bigger. Or maybe the sword itself just needs to be, like, almost like a Cloud Strife Buster sword. And, like, maybe, like, in human form, he can barely wield it, but when he turns to a wolf form, that's when, like, he could really utilize, like, its full power. I don't know. Maybe that's a me thing. But, yeah, like, I don't know. It feels kind of weird, like, you just have this tiny-ass little sword. And, like, they're just like, yeah, we're fighting like people, but we look like animals. It's like, what the hell are we doing here, guys? Is this Robin Hood or is this Robin Hood? What are we going with? You know, Disney's Robin Hood or like but I feel like I don't know, maybe you go start just if maybe if you're gonna do a Werelord, maybe it's just claws when they go full animal, but like, I can see maybe, like, in that, like, activated state, okay, that's when they use weapons. But then when they go full wolf or full animal, that's when, like, it's just claws and, like, fangs and shit. Anyways. That's just a me thing. That's how I always feel with, like, beast forms. But, in any case, but yeah, and so he goes on there and, like, he's on, man, because I know somewhere on this trailer you see the scene. There's a scene of Drew with, like, the sun behind him. And Drew doesn't go full wolf, like, a lot in this. I think he goes, like, maybe 2 to 3 times in this season. I hope we get a season 3 also. Man, where was it? I know. Oh, well, it's at least that part that he's talking right there, at least. Because there is like, he gives a speech at the very end to, like, the Goat Lord, like, I'm gonna sell you. He's like, you don't even know who the hell I am. And he's like, let me see. Let me find the freaking thing. Yeah, he's like, my name is Drew Farron, the rightful king of the Westlands. I can't remember. He says the name of, like, the main thing. He's like, my people need me. I will return to them, and I pity anyone who tries to stop me. Try and stop me. It's like, oh shit, Drew's going full badass. Hell yes. But yeah, so Drew's gonna be full wolf or like king mode next one. I'm hoping he's gonna get, like, some kind of cool, like, silver arm or something. That'd be badass. Imagine if he gets, like, an arm that's just, like, fully silver. But again, I think silver just burns them, though, so maybe that's not the greatest thing. But still, it would have been cool if, like, you know, oh yeah, he has a silver hand. It's like, like some bullshit like that. Like the classic, like, claw from like the classic claw from Thundercats, kind of like that. But yeah, this season was cool. This was fun. Let me see. Is there anything else on here? I wonder what they call dread swords. I thought they were the zombies, but I guess maybe that's the horse guys. I'm not entirely sure. The Cat Lords, Boar trying to give his brother a second chance. Oh yeah, Hector trying to give his brother a second chance when he did not deserve it. Gretchen offered, and they had chemistry last season. Drew slacking off from being king. Willie's brother's dead. I do also like the different colors for like the different things, like the wolves, and I think wolves are yellow. I think the lions are gold. Like the eye colors when they change. White is goat, green is bear, blue is fox, and then like that sickly green is like zombies. Oh, and red is rat lords. Completely forgot red is rat lords. But yeah, this is pretty good. And then like now the evil rival prince guy is now the king now. It's like, okay, well, and it's gonna be cool when Drew eventually beats the shit out of him. But yeah. This is really good. Again, it feels like the better Game of Thrones down to like literally the zombies and everything. Mind you, the zombies aren't playing that big of a role right now, but I could see them like the zombies escaping and eventually biting more people, eventually leading to like a whole full like zombie infection. But yeah, it's still good though. It's really fun. It's really fun. This is just a fun like show. Like, and I'm legit like loving it. I'm legit loving it, and I hope we're going to see more. I love the animation style. I love, like, again, the 3D that looks like claymation mixed with 2D for, like, different effects. It's really good. I love the style of animation that's happening right now in animation, and it's really great. But anyway, thanks for watching. Share my videos. Hope you enjoy this. Check out my videos. Check out my streams. 4:30-ish sometimes on Mondays and Fridays. I'm actually doing Fridays. I'm doing... what am I doing? Friday I'm doing Hollow Knights. Monday I'm not Hollow Knight. And then eventually Silksong. Monday I think I'm gonna do Jedi. I'm not entirely sure. I gotta remember which games I'm planning. Alright, probably Jedi Survivor. But anyways, thanks for watching. Share your videos. Hopefully join us, and we will. See you later. Yep, this is really great. This is really awesome.